Hello everyone, so my name is Adelia Mahadewi Permatasari, and today I am going to explain what is semantics and also the branch of it. And I am just going to explain it not in detail, but I'm gonna explain it overall. And I am going to explain all of the main points of semantics. So, after this video, I am going to present the PowerPoint that I've made. So maybe you guys can get the illustration of what is semantics is. Um, so without further ado, I am going to start with the semantics meaning. So the meaning of semantics is the branch of linguistics that studies the meaning of words, phrases, sentences, and text. Semantics explores how language conveys meaning, including the relationship between signs, like words, and their reference, like things in the world, as well as how context influences interpretation. And then I have a real life example when someone says, I love pizza, and semantics help us understand that love in I love pizza means a strong liking and not a romantic affection based on the context of the food. Next, we have lexical semantics. So, lexical semantics focuses on the meaning of individual words or lexemes, including how words relate to each other in the vocabulary. And it examines word sense, synonym, antonym, and how meanings can change over time or in different contexts. In real life example, the word bank can mean a financial institution. For example, I deposited money at the bank. Or it can mean the side of a river. Example, I picked on the river bank. I picnicked on the river bank. It illustrates how lexical semantic distinguishes multiple meanings for the same word. Next, we have sentence meaning. So, sentence meanings refers to the overall meaning that conveys by a complete sentence, which combines the meaning of its words, the syntax or the structure, and the context. It goes beyond individual words to consider how they interact to form proposition or statements. And a real life example is in the sentence, the cat is on the mat. The meaning is literal and factual, but in the cat is on the mat in the house, context adds specificity, showing how sentence meaning can build on lexical elements. Next is sense. Sense is the inherent meaning of concept associated with a word or expression, independent of its references to the real world. It's the mental representation of definition that allows us to understand and recognize things. Contrast with the reference below. The real life example of the sense of dog includes features like being a mammal, having fur legs, and barking, which help us recognize a dog even if we never seen one. versus referring to a specific pet. Next, we have reference. So, reference is the relationship between a word or phrase and the actual object, person, or concept it points to in the real world. It's about what the expression denotes, often varying by context. The real life example is the president is speaking. The president refers to a specific person. Example, Jokowi Dodo. But the sense remains the same regardless who holds the office. Then we have sense relations. So sense relation describes how the meanings of word or expressions are connected. The key types include synonymy, antonymy, hyphonymy, polysemy, homonymy, and homonymy. We're gonna discuss synonymy first. Okay, for first we're gonna talk about synonymy. So synonymy is when there is two or more words, but they have the similar or very similar meanings. And it allows them to be used in many contexts. For example, is the word happy and joyful. And the synonyms, you could say I am happy or I am joyful to express the same emotion. Next is antonymy. It involves words with the opposite meaning, often forming pairs like hot, dash, cold, big, and small. For example, hot and cold are antonyms. If the weather is hot, it's not cold, and vice versa. Next is hyphonymy. It is a hierarchical relationship where one word, hyphoneme, is a subject to another. For example, rose is the hyphonymy of flower. And for real life example, apple is the hyphonymy of fruit, as apples are a specific type of fruit, while fruit is broader. Next, polysemy. And polysemy occurs when a single word has multiple related meanings. It often diverges from a core sense through metaphor or extension. And the real life example is head can mean the part of the body. My head hurts. Or the leader, the head of the company. Both related to being at the top. Next we have homonymy is when words sound the same or are spelled the same but are unrelated meanings, like homophones. Sound same but different spelling, or homographs. Same spelling, different meaning. Real life example is bank. It's financial, and in the bank, the riverside, are homographs. Bear and bear. Carry. And next we have ambiguity. It arises when a word, phrase, or a sentence can be interpreted in more than one way, often due to polysemy, homonymy, or synthetic structure. It can be lexical or structural. For example, the sentence I saw her duck is ambiguous. It could mean you saw her lower her head, duck, duck, or saw her pet duck. Next is semantic features. Semantic features are the basic components or attributes that define the meaning of a word, like human or animate. They help categorize words and explain why some combinations work, like eat requires an animate subject while others don't. For example, the word men has features like human, male, adult, distinguishing it from boy. It lacks adult, or woman lacks male. And we have computational analysis. It breaks down words' meanings into their semantic features or components, allowing comparison and contrast. It's a method to represent meanings as set of binary features. Example, present and absent. The real life example is we can analyze but bachelor, male, adult, and not married, and explained apply for it's different applied for women's. Like spinster is a female adult, but it's not married. But and then entitlement is a logical relationship where the truth or one statement necessarily implies the truth or another. If an entails B, then whenever A is true, B must also be true. A real life example is the statement John is a bachelor entails John is unmarried, because if he's a bachelor, he must be unmarried, but not vice versa. He could be unmarried for another reason. And that is all of the materials. Next, I am going to give you guys the fun part of the video, which is the PowerPoint. Hey guys, so this is the PowerPoint that I wanted to show you. As you guys can see, this is semantics. Let's just get into it. Okay, so the definition of semantics is the branch of linguistics and philosophy that investigates the meaning of linguistic expressions, including words, phrases, sentences, and entire text. It also explores how meanings are constructed, represented, and interpreted. It often distinguishes between literal and figurative meanings. Next, we have the key concept. There is lexical semantic, computational semantics, semantic rules, ambiguity, and so on. We have the examples. First is polysemy, or the head can be a body part, liter, or foam on beer. Then semantic entitlement. The king died entitles the king is dead, but not vice versa. And then we have cross-linguistic differences. The English brother versus languages with separate terms for older or younger siblings. And then we have the key figures. First is Frederick Ludwig, and then we have Bertrand Russell, and then Ray Jackendorf. And the application for semantics is it is essential in compositional linguistics for machines translation and search engine. For example, to resolve ambiguities in Google search. And the conclusion is semantic is the foundation of language understanding and showing how meaning isn't just literal. It's shaped by context and culture, making it crucial for clear communication in a diverse world. So I think that's it all for my review. Sorry if this video is really long. I try to make this video as educative as possible, and also I want to give more information, not just a tiny bit of information, but I want to give it all on this video. So I guess that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I'm sorry if there's like a lot of mistakes, and see you guys on the next one. Bye.